video quality a little bit because I want to. Well, just you today. So, but that's not a. I was hoping to show more of you, but I'll show you what I got.
Hold on. I'm actually not on there. What are yours?
Oh,
I'm back. What do you have? Talk.
So I have like a little card here.
Geek.
Hopefully, is that reading forwards?
It is reading forwards. It's a
Okay.
little out of focus, but
Okay, so it's not mirrored,
no.
but here we go. Right now, I made some business cards for everyone.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yay!
Appreciate
So they printed a little bit lighter than I had liked, but they're still pretty sweet. So everyone will get like a handful. I ordered just a few.
that. Nessie says hi. Come on, I turned my video quality down. Stop that. We are live. The link is in the show notes.
It is?
Feel free to do things
Where is it in the show notes?
at the top.
Oh,
There it is.
there, I made it a link.
Posty, posty.
Nessie, stop that.
Unfortunately, I don't have much to contribute to this week, but I think that's understandable.
You people and your cons.
There.
There, Nessie should balance.
Hooray!
Okay.
Got it.
Yay.
Here we go. Retweeted. Retweet attack.
Oh, I suppose I should bring up a tweet thing.
Retweet attack.
Is that a new anime?
No. So I got nothing. I got nothing really for comics.
Okay.
And there were a couple of things I wanted to remember, but I forgot.
Aw.
But I got a comic of the week pick. I'm gonna try to bring to the Geek Life instead of the other one that I do, just because I think it's better suited for here.
Yep.
Nope.
We're live and we're quiet.
We are
We're
very
quiet.
quiet.
We're so quiet. I apologize. Can I have
Not
a
it.
comic of the week?
Not it.
Five,
That's fine.
4, 3.
Hello, world, and welcome to the Geek Life for the week of June 7th. Of course, I always record on Tuesday, so June, wow, July 7th, and we're recording on Tuesday, July 8th. Sorry about that. I'm looking at the wrong notes. Kind of going to be probably a shorter episode tonight, as Mike is out for various reasons. Richard is on hiatus, but we do have a tired Melissa post-con
Hello.
and a tired Fess post-con.
I never claimed to be tired.
I'm tired.
Just asserting. Fine. Fess isn't tired.
I never said I wasn't tired either.
Fess
Well,
is
now
being
that-
contrarian. And for that, next time I'll wear my Schrodinger's cat t-shirt, which has the cute kitty on the front that's alive and the cute kitty on the back that's sleeping. Which I wore to, not Petco, the other one, the other pet store, Super Chain.
And that reminds I
That's smart.
heard.
Yes, PetSmart. So what it is it's a black t-shirt with this, like, looks like a hand-drawn kitten on the front. And what it is it's Schrodinger's equation used over and over again to form the kitten.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know what it is, it looks like some guy wearing this really cute kitten t-shirt, except on the back is the sleeping kitten.
Ah.
And the lady there is like, oh, that's a really cool shirt. And Marion is about to say something. I look at her and say, don't try to explain it, Marion. The last thing she wants to hear is 11-year-old say, and the one on the back is dead. Yay for sister-in-laws.
Yay.
So,
We do have videos.
videos.
We don't have a whole lot of videos because apparently companies all agreed that we should go outside for 4th of July weekend. But Yeah, we got a few. I don't even have a title of the week this week because,
Ooh.
just not much was coming out in terms of schlock. But we do have some nice new things. We have The Raid 2, so fans of The Raid 1 can have more punching,
Radiness.
punching and shooting
Ooh.
and awesome violence. Also, if you're more into the sex and love thing, we've got Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac 1 and 2 coming out this week.
Ooh.
For those of us who have been rooting for this movie for a while, I am very pleased to announce that Jodorowsky's Dune is finally available for the mass market. So
Yay.
those of you who have been hearing me talk about this documentary for a long time can finally have it in your own grubby little hands, and I really do recommend it. It's a fantastic documentary about a movie that doesn't exist. Also, we have The Weekend, which won bunches of awards within the last year, and Errol Morris's new documentary, The Unknown Known, in which he takes on Donald Rumsfeld.
Always cool.
Yeah, that one's really good too.
Can I add one?
Yes, please do.
On streaming, I discovered on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix. If you liked Outrage, which
Mm-hmm.
is Takeshi Kitano, which I love the film, it is a messy Yakuza film, very messy in a good
Mm-hmm.
way. Beyond Outrage is finally streaming.
Oh, good.
More Yakuza messiness, more, oh, the violence is glorious. My favorite is how you use a baseball hitting cage to murder somebody.
Ah.
Not nice. And just, yeah, if you like messy Yakuza films and Takeshi style, it's finally out there streaming on Netflix. So
Very good. So in catalog titles, we got a couple of fun things. We have The Time Machine, as in the George Powell version of The Time Machine, on Blu-ray. We also have Point Blank with Lee Marvin on Blu-ray. Lake Placid, for those of us who like Betty White swearing about crocodiles, on
Woo.
Blu-ray. Southern Comfort, Walter Hill's 1980s macho movie. I don't know how to describe Southern Comfort. Also on Blu-ray. Operation Petticoat on Blu-ray, and Crybaby with Johnny Depp, and
Yay.
all that John Waters goodness on Blu-ray. And that's pretty much it. I didn't see a whole lot else. But that at least that crop of things should keep you going for a while.
Cool. And somebody put streaming in. Oh,
Yep,
dear face. No.
Yes. I had to add
teasing.
this because this came out within the last week.
Yep.
Sailor Moon Crystal is now streaming all over the internet on various platforms. New episodes every first and third Saturday. So it's subtitled, and it's basically the Sailor Moon reboot.
Yep.
So they're going. Episode one is up just right now, and it's basically a retread of the original Sailor Moon episode 1, and I don't know how much they're going to deviate from what was already established, so they might, touch some things up, change a little bit this here and there. The art style is very different, as in somebody put like a hazy eye filter over it, so everything's fuzzy and soft, and it's very, very different. And just know that the art it's going to be different when you go in, and not the weird, wacky anime as it was in the 90s.
Friend of mine who's big into Sailor Moon, she just posted on Facebook about she was liking what she saw for the first episode, so she's looking forward to it. So, and she's a pretty picky Sailor Moon fan, so we'll see. Crystal.
Yeah, these girls are supposed to be 14 years old. I'm on Hulu.com/Sailor Moon Crystal with hyphens in between, and the art that they have shows a couple of the young women with their skirts flowing up, and you see their bottom butt ledge a little bit. Yay, 14-year-olds.
Yeah, that sounds about Sailor Moon, sadly.
I had no idea they were 14.
Well,
they look
what?
14, and I think a couple of them are supposed to be older in the group, like Sailor Jupiter or something, but I have to double check.
Oh, well, Ray might be.
Yeah. My problem with Sailor Moon isn't really Sailor Moon, it's my introduction to it was a couple of rather creepy anime fans back when getting anime was really tough, and you had to have friends in Japan send you videotapes, and they were kind of, you could tell, watching it for not the plot reasons. And it was like,
ooh, icky.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I don't want to watch this. But yeah, otherwise it's, like I said, the one person I know who definitely is a fan, she watched it recently and gave a pretty positive review, so she's looking forward to it. I think she likes the art style too, but I'll have to ask her. Yeah, if you want to do Sailor Moon, it's out there for you.
There you go. And it's free with commercials.
Okay.
And I guess that goes into comics, of which
Yep.
I don't have anything for comics this week, because, I don't know, there's this little convention called Convergence that was happening, and I was busy. But I have a comic of the week pick
shame.
of what I normally put on the other podcast, but I think it fits better here since there's the video peak, and why not have a comic peek over here too? It makes sense. So I'm picking for this week a webcomic called Go Get a Roomie at gogetaroomy.com. Now this one is probably not safe for work,
Nope.
as boobies and implied sexual conduct. One of the reasons why I picked this one is because I wanted to pick it a while ago, but this is by Chloe C. I don't know her last name. I love seeing the art of the comic to continue getting better and better as you read through the archives. And I know that there was talk to like her redraw the beginning. It's like, no, I love seeing the process. Don't do that. But it's basically it's kind of got like this hippie girl sort of free loving sort of just character that sort of just is the light of the room, and just everybody loves her and she loves everybody, and she meets the comic really gets into it when she meets this sort of really sort of lethargic, sort of leave me alone, really passive, possibly asexual, aromantic character. I'm not sure if it's actually established yet. So it's really interesting to see character dynamics, and then a lot of the comic is very character driven. So that's why I really like checking this out. And if you don't like it from the first several comics, whatever. You're no loss. It's a webcomic. It's free.
Yep.
So that's my pick, and I've also interviewed the creator a couple of times too, so that was fun.
Oh, cool. I read it on and off. It's not in my regular rotation. If I remember, I'll go catch up every once in a while. But
Oh, cool.
I agree. It actually is a decent comic. It is definitely not for work, but it is fun. It has a nice art style to it. So, anybody read? I don't. I took it down. Never mind. There's another comic I'll probably plug next time.
I was at a convention all week, so somebody else has to continue.
For those who haven't gotten the hint, we have two people here who attended Convergence. It's a 4-day con. Melissa, for sure, definitely does more than that because she actually works the con. I don't know how much you do, Fess, or if you do work the con at all.
Oh, yeah. I work it over real good. I recorded like 18 panels this year.
That's what the con said.
Oh, I recorded like 15 panels for Convergence, but I probably recorded 18 panels total.
Yeah. So both of them have been really busy over the last 4 or 5 days. So, hence the sedateness.
I'm tired.
Did you have fun at least?
I did.
Oh, good.
I had fun. I had lots of fun. Yay.
I know recently Mr. Bruce wrote up something about being in kind of in this in-between zone of not realizing that there's still a rivalry between Minicon and Convergence, which I thought was dead too. But
I think that's very odd.
I think there's a holdout on both sides of a couple people. I think it's really probably a small number of people who still have a little bit of bad blood from back in the day. I don't know if you saw his blog post. I thought it was actually pretty well written, where he's kind of like, I don't get this either anymore, and I go to both cons and I enjoy them for their own unique things, So, so I thought I had a nice little kind of a very polite get over it.
Oh yeah,
for the remaining holdouts.
It was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
Seriously.
So, not enough of local politics. So, tech. I don't know who typed this in here. I wonder if this is a Mike thing or a Fest thing. I'm not sure. Google
wasn't me.
I/O conference. Google had a big conference. They announced things last week. Special gadget watches. You will be Dyna Blue.
Yeah, too bad Mike's not here to explain that one.
Yeah.
I have no idea
Yeah,
of it.
I
But,
got none.
but there were like
yeah, go ahead.
there were several things announced there, and I think there was like Android 5 was announced.
Yep.
And a bunch of devices and such like that.
2.5 hours. It was like, lost Nessie. But no, it was like a 2.5 hour. I'm trying to figure out where Nessie went. Oh dear. Nessie's gone. Event. Yeah, they announced everything. They showed some watches from third parties. They announced a new UI language. I forget what they call it. Or more UI design for everybody to get on board with. They announced a revamp of the mobile platform, which the watches I think we're taking advantage of. So there's some debate if that kills off what is in Google Glass from a programming standpoint. But they're trying to create a generic sort of, watch, glass, whatever language / API set. That was a big deal, and people are trying to figure out the impact of that. And kind of like the Apple event, dozens of other little things will filter out, and we'll find out how it affects everything. So. So anybody still use Apple Aperture?
I do. I'm really pissed about this one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can I poke you some more?
Yeah, so Apple announced that with the next iteration of OS X named Yosemite, both iPhoto and Aperture will go away and will become a photo.app, which means Aperture, which is the kind of premier pro photographer editing application for Macintosh, is going away, which means I'm pretty much forced to go to Adobe Lightroom. I'm not happy about that. I have Lightroom, still not happy.
Is it literally going away, or are you going to be
Yes.
able to keep the copy you have on your computer?
It will no longer be supported. So
Yeah, you'll be able to
But
keep
how
the
often
copy.
do they need to update it? I mean, if it's stable
pretty
enough.
behind, isn't it?
I'm sorry. It's already old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
Because
it's stable.
They haven't. It's stable, but it's already old. They haven't updated it for a while.
And camera technology has advanced on a little bit since
Mm-hmm.
the last updates.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to go offline for a brief moment as I was looking for him. He went way under the desk. So I don't know if you mentioned it's going to be replaced with camera.app, yeah, which...
Yeah,
So,
I do not
iCamera,
like.
yeah, iPhoto goes away. Aperture goes away. They're going to go for one unified app. And yeah, a lot of people are griping for Aperture users now. I mean, my only kind of counter is, well, given the lack of updates, I think the writing has been on the wall for a while, but still.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Apple's just decided that pro photography is something they no longer want to support. It's a bit of a niche from their point of view. So,
Which is really sad.
yeah.
Honestly, because Aperture was a very nice photo management tool for pro photography.
Yep. Now, is Lightroom an option, or?
Lightroom's an option, but it's going to be if I wanted to use it for photo management, it's going to be a pain in the ass to shift everything over.
Okay. Because I know there's at least one. Mosaic has been posting constant things on Twitter of how to move over, but yeah, if you have a huge library, I could see that'd be an issue.
Yeah, and most pro photographers do have a large library.
Shock!
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing about Aperture, both Aperture and Lightroom, they have non-destructive editing, which means pretty much you move a library over, you're
moving everything.
You're losing all of your edits.
Oh, okay.
Because the settings go away.
Now, there was one theory, this is via MacBreak Weekly, and they were admitting this was just total kind of what they know of how Apple works sort of thing. It's not anything for real. Is that possibly with the photo app you might see the Aperture stuff come back in as they move forward with it. So it's going to start out, as whatever the photo app is going to be, this kind of in-between world of Aperture and iPhoto. And then they might either open it up so third-party APIs can come in and you can do all your workflow like you did in Aperture, or they might improve it so you will have those options again. But again, that's no guarantees. That's just Apple has done that with software in the past where they'll slowly re-improve it, but it's never guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
What is he doing?
I don't know what Fess is doing. Fess, what are you doing? Fess?
No, just keep going.
I know what that is. I know what that is.
What are you doing?
He's doing something funky, but I recognize the footage.
Yeah, well, this is for the next
thing,
news piece.
So, why don't we move on to that? Can a drone fly legally through fireworks? The FAA isn't sure about that, and but there is video of it, of which I'm screen sharing a bit of it right now.
You're screen sharing our show notes.
Where is it?
You're showing the secret.
There it is. Oh, I thought I would just grab that one and stay there. There we go. So right now, this is a drone just flying through fireworks. And this is a terrible part because they're just spinning, but it's I watched this video and there's like a few. Oh, right there, just like zoom narrowly misses the camera. It's pretty sweet looking, but since it's an unmanned thing, does it technically count as an illegal for a no-fly zone since it's an object? But
the FAA is also weighing heavily on point of view flying, which is a whole other can of worms that we've covered before. So
yeah, but at least some of these videos are pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Well, and they did have. I mean, this one they did have permission from the event where the guy's firing.
All right.
I'm
Well,
having my flashbacks to the firebombing of Dresden. Thank you. No, it is a cool video. I agree. I watched it earlier, and but my understanding is they had permission of the guys doing the fireworks to fly the drone through, because I can't imagine what would happen if the drone had connected with one of the shells as it was going up.
Yeah.
I don't think
it'd
the drone
be
would survive.
extra special.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd be curious what the FAA decides on that. They're being big pooty heads anyhow, so in my opinion. They're just being stupid. So
that's all I got.
That's all you got. Well, we have revisionist history, comrade.
This must have been one that Mike did?
No, this is one I did, actually.
Oh, you? Okay.
Yes. So, if you remember, we talked about the right to be forgotten, and that the EU said if you have a reason or whatever that you think links in search engines like Google shouldn't be linking to something, like the original case was a guy whose foreclosed house was still online, and he's like, that was so long ago, it shouldn't be up there, it makes me look bad. And the EU said, well, you're right, sir, there should be a method where you can call up Google and say, take this down, or actually block the search links to it. And Google, being Google, said, fine, we're a private company, we really don't want to waste money, so we'll block whatever people tell us to block. Except we'll also send an email to the BBC and The Guardian explaining to them why we just took out the links to their articles. Causing a massive uproar. Those who are pro the law felt that Google was doing this purposely to sabotage the law. Those who are anti-law saying, well, the law is so stupidly written, why not? And there was a whole back and forth as to where Google's responsibilities. One guy I follow on Google Plus was like, well, Google's just being asses. They should, be reviewing each of these. And it's like, but they're getting like 10,000 a day of these requests. Mm-hmm. And from a corporate point of view, I'm like, you're approaching this like a consumer point of view. For a consumer organization, that would be run by the government, which would review these and determine if the takedowns are legit or not. If you're a corporation trying to make money, and especially with U.S. lawyers, it's going to be, take the link down. Don't even question. Just do it. And if they gripe about it, well, we might figure out some method of going backwards eventually. Turns out they did reinstate the links after much gripage was had, but the BBC and Guardian had a field day showing, look at the email we got from Google. And the trick is you could still get to the articles if you went to their sites or if you basically searched for deeper terms in the articles.
Mm-hmm.
you could get to them. But if you just looked for the headline or whatever, there was no links showing up in Google. So we're already seeing this kind of getting mistreated, and along with some questionable requests going to Google, like child abusers and things like that. So it's kind of already starting to blow up because the EU so vaguely wrote this law and came up with this idea, and they really haven't figured out a way to implement it or get it more, workable, as it were. So this is kind of the result of it. So it kind of woke up the BBC and the Guardian a bit. So the other thing that nobody's answered is technically Bing and Yahoo would be subject to this, but nobody's hearing from them if they're doing takedowns of links.
Huh.
They're waiting to see what Google does.
Basically, and I mean, why would you write Bing? Because nobody uses it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the result of that. So that's kind of one of my personal bugaboos, because I tend to take the Jeff Jarvis point of view, who's another guy who shows up on the Twit network. He's a professor, and he gets much more vitriolic about this. I'm not quite as bad, but I do believe this was a stupid law on the part of the EU. Because
it's ridiculous.
It goes against. It basically allows for revisionist history, allows for censorship, and that's the first tool governments and or any tyrannical organization will try to use to their advantage. And opening that can of worms up was just stupid of them. So, but that's that. So we'll see where Google goes next with it. Next up, we have the ISEE. I forget the letters stand for. 3 making a comeback. What this is there's a satellite. I believe its original mission was to do observations of the sun. And back many, many moons ago in the 80s, I'd have to double check my articles. Yeah, 80s, because last time the engines were fired were 87. Basically, some guys got this hair up their derriere and going, well, there's all these comet missions happening. America should get there first. Or more, it was JPL wanted to get there first. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory basically confiscated a working satellite for sun research, pissing off a lot of scientists at the time. Fired up its engines, put it in this high elliptical orbit, and it was the officially first satellite to fly through the tail of an active comet and gathered legitimate data. I mean, it was a good mission. Just it kind of teed off all the people who were using the data from this satellite for other stuff. So this satellite's been out there in this weird orbit for a while, and a group of people, I want to say a year or two ago, got together and said, you know what? It might still be working, and we might be able to get back onto its original mission. So they got step 1 going, which is they actually got to fire its engines, which is the first time its engines have been fired since 1987. Now, these are the gas propulsion engines, hydrazine or whatever, so we're not talking massive rocket engines, but thrusters to do it. But they got the craft rotating at the speed it's supposed to rotate at, which is like 9 revolutions a second or something, and stabilized it. And they're pretty sure they can bring it back into its original orbit to where it was, so it can continue its original mission.
If it still works, though, I mean, how good is that data?
Well, that's what they're doing right now. They're going through and testing the instruments. They've gotten communication with it that's solid. So right now they're running it through running through the instruments and wherever the internal tests are to see how many of the instruments work and to what degree. So that's the next kind of step here, is to figure out how well is this thing working. But they're pretty sure it's in decent shape because it was shut down properly. It wasn't like it was left to drift. It was just kind of put into its emergency mode and left to go. But the funny part is some of the team working on this weren't born when the satellite last fired its engines. Get off my lawn, you kids! So it's this bunch of 20-somethings who, born way after this thing was ever set up. Trying to get back on track for science.
Science! It's great it's still usable.
If it's still, I mean, that's the next thing that we'll find out. But if it is, I think it's a neat, way to save money.
Oh yeah.
And make a lot of scientists who are teed off less teed off, because now they'll get their satellite back.
Yeah, well, are any of them still alive?
1 or 2 probably. Their grad students might be. You just clone the guy. That's the other department. So Doctor Who next season coming up, and the scripts have been leaked.
Of course.
Of course. I just saw this on the register. Sounds like five of the season 8 scripts, the new Peter Capaldi Doctor Who that's coming up, got potentially leaked to an open folder somewhere, and they're making the rounds. The way they think this happened is the scripts were sent to a BBC office in Miami, who part of their mission is to do translations of stuff for non-English-speaking countries. So they were going through and doing the translations for the series, for wherever else it airs, and somebody kind of put the scripts out there somewhere. Probably if they
like you do.
Have a job. Yeah, like you do. I'll just put this up on Dropbox on a public account. So the BBC is basically saying, being very polite, BBC, and saying, please, no spoilers, and preferably, if possible, delete them if you see them. We'd really appreciate that. So they're not, they're not asking for heads to be rolled. They're being classic British about it because they know they can't do much.
And on that note, we have Series 7 actually up on Netflix now, so Melissa and I can actually catch up.
Yay!
Wait,
we didn't. I don't think we saw Season 7, Series 7 at all.
No?
Yeah, we did.
I don't have it on DVD, and I stopped downloading them at this point. We might have seen a couple, but I'm pretty sure I have not seen most of Series 7.
I've seen them. I saw them here. I'm pretty sure we saw them, sweetie.
All right, well then I'm gonna go to Netflix and investigate because I know I saw the first episode, but I know we didn't see them all. No, we at least we saw the first half. We didn't see the second half. I think that's what it was. We'll look.
Shh. The Doctor regenerates at the end of the season.
You shut up.
Don't want to give anything away. That was... Sorry, silly side note. Remembering back to the Germany-Argentina thing, one of the other things I was referred to as the Red Wedding for Argentina, for the Game of Thrones reference. There,
also, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 4 is on Netflix, too.
Oh, okay. There's also... is there a documentary on that now? Yeah. I want to say there's a documentary. They talk to one of the voice actresses, and it's kind of like, what is this fandom about with bronies? And her describing going to the first con she was invited to, and kind of going, what am I getting into? And not being sure of it, and then kind of embracing the whole thing and finding it, okay, you aren't a bunch of creepy guys. She's of course posting this as a programming. I'm voicing for a kids show. What am I being invited to? And goes, okay, you're actually all really cool. Yeah. So I think there's a short documentary out there.
Was she invited to a BronyCon or a con for My Little Pony? There's a difference.
It was a BronyCon.
Okay, then did she walk into the artist's alley?
Probably not.
Good.
Yes, do not type in My Little Pony in YIF in certain places.
Or Clop Clop.
Yeah. Welcome to the dark side of Google.
Let's move off this subject.
On to happier subjects. Gaming.
Who put this one in?
Bueller?
Hello? Anyone?
I didn't do anything.
This must be
wait
a
a minute. Oh, yeah, I put this one in. Oops.
So.
Jeez.
YouTube will allow video of their games if they get the ad revenue. Actually, no, that's supposed to be Nintendo will allow video of their games on YouTube. Boy, I'm not even on the game today. Nintendo has been really keeping an eye on their game content from showing on video sites like Let's Plays, really, really squashing it, and some people argue that that's only hurting them because nobody's seen the games, really.
Mm-hmm.
But this deal with YouTube means that they'll get ad revenue now, and the people that are putting these videos up get no ad revenue unless they have a particular affiliate program with them. And that's like, I think it's like on a case by case basis, like if you're like a really popular Let's Player or something like that. But I mean, to be fair, I mean, if you're playing a game straight on through, I mean, it's their content. It's
Right.
Right.
all their it is all their content.
Right. It's not like the Pixel or the what's the name of this Mojang's game? I just blanked on the girls. Minecraft. There we go. It's not like Minecraft where people do these videos, and though it's Minecraft, you're creating the content, as it were, because it's an open-ended game.
Mm-hmm. And Minecraft really doesn't care because it just sells more Minecraft.
Exactly.
True.
And so that's something to look forward to, and,
How are
and
they-
see how that works.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how is Nintendo getting in on the ad revenue?
Oh, and they're talking with YouTube directly.
Oh, okay. So you'd have to monetize the video stream, or YouTube puts it on there anyhow. They get a percentage or something.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it would normally get dropped. It would get blocked or taken down.
Okay.
I presume I presume the model is something like how they pay music companies for people who post music on their YouTube channels.
Okay. That makes sense.
I mean, that's just a conjecture on my part, but I mean, it makes sense to use that same structure.
Right. It's just I'd be curious because if it's somebody who's then like turns on the monetization feature, so they try to make money off what they're doing. It's like I wonder.
I think it automatically turns it on.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, they can override and show the ads, but you just don't necessarily get the money off.
Right.
Right.
Unless you have an affiliate agreement or something like that with them, and I'm pretty sure that'd only be for like, hey, you have like 100,000 followers on your Let's Play, so.
Yep.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah. Whatever. It's a world I'm slowly learning about. Trying out the world of vlogging. We'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, on this slow, short cast.
Yeah, it's going to come in a little short, but I think that's probably fine.
I don't even have a peek.
I don't yet. I might be able to think of something. So go ahead, Paul.
Well, I'm going to start in reverse because the top peak is actually to tempt Melissa partially too. So, the bottom peak, after our mentioning of lightning 2 weeks ago, well, there's a place that it's not really real time, but it's relatively real time, shows you the wind patterns in the world based off satellite and other data. So if you go there, it doesn't work on all tablets. I don't know if you need flash or what, but basically you get these beautiful slow-moving lines. Their color code indicate wind speed, and it gives you the overall idea of where the wind patterns are flowing, so you can kind of get an idea like where storms are going to come in from and such. It's just kind of, again, kind of like the lightning thing. You turn it on, you kind of start staring at it, and you keep staring at it, and you can rotate the globe and zoom in and zoom out and see like how things are happening in Europe or other places, or if the planet looks relatively calm or not calm. And
yeah, I got it on screen share right now, and maybe some people can see it a little bit. And it's pretty sweet looking, pretty cool. It's just kind of it looks actually relaxing. Just to
It's kind of like a lava lamp.
Oh.
Yeah, the red areas aren't relaxing though, but but yeah.
It's kind of windy outside where we are.
Yeah, if you go over to like Okinawa, if you rotate it to there, you should get some good wind going. Because they have a major, like a super typhoon going through.
Holy cats, look at that.
There we go.
But yeah, so fun stuff. The other peak is Pure Evil.
Okay.
Again, discovered by the Twit Network. For those who have flown in airplanes not fairly recently, if you're on the right flights and they give you the cookies by Biscoff, which are the little tiny kind of tannish cookies, they're kind of tasty, they're okay. Some people love them. Biscoff makes a spread of those. So it's like you take the Biscoff cookies and you put them in a blender with maybe a little bit of oil to smooth it out, and you end up with the Biscoff cookie flavor equivalent of Nutella,
Wow.
which just sounds evil. And they have a crunchy version if you want, little cookie bits in there too. I'm tempted to buy one of these days just to see what it's like, but it just sounds like it would be just evil in a good way, and maybe combining it with Nutella at some point.
I'm hungry.
So if you need, if you have your jaw wired shut and you really need a Biscoff cookie, they have a solution for you.
By the way, I'm still playing with that wind tool, and I'm looking at Antarctica right now.
Oh, yeah, Antarctica.
My! There's a lot of stuff going on there. So now I'm hungry, and I'm looking at wind patterns. All right, cool.
Wow,
Wow,
the Biscoff, another corner, Antarctica, the lightning strike thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like surrounded by red and purple.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm getting this image of you having the lightning strike and the wind pattern up and this kind of spoon half out of your mouth.
I think you just described my Friday night. Me sitting there with, oh yes, I can see it now.
Wow, we know what to get you for Christmas.
My needs are simple.
Well, once the kitchen's in order and we have our party, I'll see if I can get a jar of the spread for people to try. So.
Oh, that'd be good.
So.
That's party food right there.
Anything else, Peaks?
Yeah, nothing leapt to mind. My brain is toasty after Convergence.
Of course.
Maybe I'll just plug Convergence. Hey, Convergence is over, but you can go pre-register for next year. It's a lot of fun.
What's the theme?
The theme next year is dystopia.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be interesting.
And Connie's sister, Connie Mark II, is running it next year. By the graces of the majority of the majority of the board.
Sure.
Yeah, there's this kind of fake storyline with the convention mascots going on with.
Fake.
So there's plot. All hail Mark II.
All hail Glow.
People better be on it next year. You don't want to upset her.
Yeah, you don't want to upset the Overlord. But yeah, it's going to be fun next year. It was really fun this year. It was really smooth this year, just in terms of general convention vibe. Last year, I think everybody started out grumpy because of the really long registration lines that happened because July 4th landed on the Thursday when it started.
Yep.
And registration was just a snap this year, and I think the economy is improving a little bit, and everybody was just generally in a good mood going into the weekend. So like the entire convention really went smoothly. It felt good.
Good.
And like everything I saw went off without a hitch, or if it failed spectacularly well. Yeah,
I've heard minimal drama out of it, so.
Yeah, we had Marina Sirtis as one of the guests of honor, and she started out the weekend kind of grumpy. I dealt with her on Thursday. She was kind of grumpy for reasons that are reasonable. I won't go further into it than that, but by the end she was like crying and saying, "I love you guys" on stage before running to the airport.
Catch her plane.
So, yeah, we totally run her over, so that felt good. So yeah, generally, everything went well.
Cool.
So yeah, and for the first time in Convergence history, attendance was flat. The convention did not grow, which is good. Which is really good.
Yeah.
So it seems we've leveled off a little above 6,000 people for warm body count.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Also next year, MiniCon's Big 5-0.
Oh God! Wow, 50.
Almost. I gotta double check the number. Yeah, I think it's MiniCon 50 next year.
Holy cats! I mean, I believe you because I don't know
Don't take my word. I'd have to redouble check the website, but I thought I saw the 5-0 go by. But they did do things like 2 conventions a year, once or twice, and there's weirdness like that goes.
No, it totally makes sense because I think my first one was MiniCon 29, and I think that was 1992.
Yeah. So yeah,
So that pretty much adds up. Oh my God, I'm old.
oh, the man with the silly hat and the Nessie on top of it. That's you. Being my other Australian hat, by the way, but for those who care.
Oh, I got something that I wanted to add to the show notes, but I forgot. It's something really quick, and we're not going to go into the extended politics of the implications of it. No, I promise. I promise. But the Supreme Court actually did one thing that a lot of people like, and that is that you need cops need a search warrant to just one.
Just one. The other ones warrant, no likey.
Right. The other
no likey. The other ones.
They need to have a search warrant is needed to search your phone. They can't. Cops can't get into your phone and use that information without a search warrant.
Yeah, it now falls under similar things. So if it's like a life at imminent danger, they don't need the search warrant, which is an existing, situation already. That isn't just for the phone itself. They said, this still applies. But yeah, otherwise you do now need a search warrant to see the data on the phone. They just can't say, it's something you have and we have a right to it, like your trunk of your car or purse or whatever. So,
well, I don't think they can actually. Well, they still can't.
Trunk of your car is fair game.
Is it?
I believe
they
so.
have to have. No. They have to have.
Flimsy probable cause.
Yeah, at least that. Like if they have the dog and blah blah blah. But if they don't have a dog, it's like they don't have any sort of. As far as I understand.
If you're not stone cold sober, they have sufficient probable cause.
Oh, there's that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean. Basically, you have to be stone cold sober and coherent, and then they probably can't do it. But if you are anything but that, they will find reasons. Nothing against policemen, just utilize the rules when you can. The other interesting, to dovetail off that, the other interesting thing from the Supreme Court was the whatever the antenna thing is called for televisions.
Oh, where that one company had like several hundred like separate individual little antennas, and those were technically, what's that?
Well, the Supreme Court ruled against them, so they lost.
Oh, shit!
But the decision was interesting because the conservative side of the Supreme Court actually came out more technology savvy than the liberal side this time. Basically, they said it's like a cable company. You can't rebroadcast airwave television because you're redoing a performance. And it's all the same ruling as to why cable companies have to pay money to the local broadcasters. And so that they applied that. They said it's the same. The conservative justices, in their dissent or opinion or whatever, basically said, yeah, but you're kind of saying this format now applies regardless of the technological innovation, and shouldn't we really base this on technological innovation and take each one on its own? Which was very savvy for the side of the court that you generally think is the Luddites. No opinions here. But generally the side that comes down, being conservative, and therefore whatever, they took the oddly interesting tone, and really the more conservative tone of saying you can't nail all of this together under this one ruling. We really should judge it, otherwise we might stop potentially innovation and technology, just because he said as long as it's like this format, because it didn't just kill this creator, or this antenna maker. It begins with an A and I'm totally blanking on it, but basically it killed a whole lot of people at once. They're coming up with similar technologies who now have to stop making it. And the point is like, really, maybe we should judge this one-on-one. So that was just kind of an interesting side note that surprised a lot of court watchers, because they figured it was going to be, just a solid vote against them. So, yeah, 1.5 things. We'll ignore the rest for Friday. La 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 la. I love our Supreme Court.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of most of the things they've been doing the last couple weeks.
Yep.
Oh, that Hobby Lobby ruling. Goddamn.
Shh.
Sorry.
Shh. Not going to go there.
And I didn't this time, so there we go. And that's it for our show this week.
Yeah.
Oh, Hitler. There we go.
All the Hitler.
I said we were not going into it this week, guys. We're not
All
going
the
into it.
Hitler.
Just had to throw Hitler in there. Not attached to anything, just the random. I forgot to Godwin the broadcast.
Yeah, we have to keep our Godwins up.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have a Nessie on my head. What more do you want? An attempt at the outro. You've been watching The Geek Life, the sleepy version.
Yeah, very sleepy.
Oh, by the way, look for I recorded a bunch of videos, so look for some really fun panels.
Yes.
When they come out, I'm sure we'll let people know. And I'm going to see if I can get that one. Melissa was talking about whales as monsters. That would probably be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, just whales in fiction and film, and
well, yeah.
That was a fun one.
Sounds it.
All right, I'm sorry for dragging this out.
No problem.
Keep going.
We've been The Geek Life. You can find us at on the web at thegeeklife.tv. You can email us at thegeeklifetv@gmail.com. Voicemail, if it still works, you can call 1-612-567-6615 and leave us a voicemail.
Oh yeah, I should probably check to see who's in charge of that.
And theoretically, there is a link on our website that if you click it, it will call you. Again, that's assuming Google Voice is still
No.
The link is gone?
There is no link. Oh, I don't know if it's been announced. My peak is the new Geek Life website.
Oh, by the way,
well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah. By the way, the Geek Life TV has moved over as a Webcast Beacon Network member. So it's got its own section on the website. This is where it's basically stationed right now. The Geek Life .tv will get you there, as well as. No, I won't even mention that. But that's where you'll go. Mike and I tweaked the Google Plus page a bit for the Geek Life podcast, as well as the Geek Life podcast new YouTube channel. So we're going to be making some updating various links here and there, and so that's exciting. Yay!
And then hopefully we'll update the stuff on the back end so I log into the right account in the future.
Yeah, but we are on Facebook as well at with the Geek Life, and on Twitter at the Geek Life TV, and Google Plus for the Geek Life podcast. I just mentioned that.
Yep. Yay.
Yay.
So this has been Fess.
This is Paul.
Adios.
And Melissa. Bye. That got confusing.
Leading into Fess, and you were supposed to say goodbye normally, but
you said this is Fess, like
this
you
has
were
been
Fess, like you were Fess.
Too literal. Should I hit stop broadcast?
Yeah.